I was on the way to bed, and on my way to bed I figured I would come in here. Well, I took my shower. I blow dried my hair because technically if I go to bed with a wet head, it bothers me. I don't know if it's psychological or I don't know. I feel like I can catch a cold if I go to bed with a wet head. So I don't. So I use the blow dryer. So I kind of blow dried my hair. I'm just looking at it up on the screen. And it looks okay. Kind of looks okay. And let's see if I can adjust this a little bit, a little tiny bit. Just the hair. Bring it up. There you go. Okay. And then we'll check the other Lumix, like right there. Looks a little low, right? That's what happened. I took the camera out. We went for a walk. Me and the camera. We went for a walkity walk walk. Okay, so now that means when I mount it back up on here. Now, of course, if I was going to record a video, I would do this way before I start recording or anything to that effect. But now that I'm just fresh out of the shower, I think my hair is dry. I did use a blow dryer. And the reason that I do that is because I think I'm going to catch a cold if I don't. If I go to bed with a wet head and the wind from the ceiling fan or something blows on me. Oh, that one's way out of line. So I guess we'll have to realign these inch by inch. It's a cinch. Well, hello, it's Sunday night in Miami, Florida. I'm singing a song to you. There we go. Okay, so we're kind of set up now. I got them all in place. So, as I started to say, something funny happened on my way to bed. I came in here and I decided to check, because sometimes I will find the cameras are on when I really think that they're off, but they're not off, they're on. That ain't so hot. That means they could stay on overnight for the next day, or when then is the next time I come in here. So I came in here, I checked, everything was fine. I was going to walk out of the room when I tripped and I stumbled. And I accidentally combed my hair, threw my shirt on, sat down in the chair, and started the live stream. And if you believe that one, I got a few stories to tell you, okay? So anyway, it's Sunday night. I decided, why go to bed and lay down when I could actually just come in here, go live, see a few friends for a little while. Who knows? It might be a 20-minute, 50-minute, an hour, a 2-hour show. Who knows? It's Sunday night. There's no rules here. Okay? So what I did, took the camera off of the, it's home. So yes, we are in the C3. When I bring it back here, or when I take it out there, I put it in P mode, shutter priority mode, aperture priority mode, manual mode. I play with everything and its uncle, okay? And then I bring it back here, and how do I know it's all set up properly? Well, you don't, but you do. If you assign all your settings to where you want them to be, and in my case, the little dial on top is C3, Christmas 3. Yay! Okay, so I just got out of the shower. Like I said, I blow dried my hair. I think it's combed. I put on a shirt. These shirts only get used an hour a month, you know, unless I wear the same shirt over and over. And in that case, then it's not an hour a month. So what did I do with the camera today? I did two things, and they were both wonderful, okay? So what camera are we talking about? We're talking about the Panasonic Lumix S5, but not the Mark II, not the Mark 0, not the Mark 1, not the Mark 0, but this one, the Mark II, okay? So I'm running around, and I've got the Sigma adapter on the camera, which is right here. So this is the Sigma, what the Sigma adapter looks like. And this is the Canon 50mm L 1.4, 1.2. The 50L is a 1.2. So I put the 50L on here, and this is what I normally use when I do live Friday night or I record in here. This is the lens for the Christmas room. So I took off this lens. I put a 24 millimeter Sigma lens on there, EF mount, and I also put the 50 millimeter on there. And I got in the mail, I think Thursday. I'm pretty sure it was Thursday, okay? I got in the mail where I ordered for $10, $9 and something cents, all right? On one of those adapters that you could take and put vintage lenses on the adapter. So this is running right now a vintage lens. Not this one, that's the Nikon ZFC. How you doing over there? Okay, oh, we got some people in here. Let's say hello to the people. Randy's in here, he's saying hi, Peter. Hi, Randy. You going to work tomorrow, Randy? Because I know the July 4th holiday is coming, and it's subtract the 2, carry the 1, put over the 3, put a little nick there, slap my face, have a little chocolate, and it's July 4th is on Tuesday, okay? So July 4th is on Tuesday. So I don't know, Randy, if you're going to work tomorrow and then you get off again on Tuesday. That's weird. I wonder how many people are, if that's true, how many people are going to show up and how many people are going to call in, I don't feel good today, you know? And that's because, why should they have a short weekend when they got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Monday? Speaking of Monday, I just saw Monday in here. Yeah, it's Jim. Right on time. Was this, we didn't do this ahead of time. I did not call Jim and tell him to be here so that I was going Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Jim Monday, and then Tuesday. So Tuesday is July 4th. So I got to play with the lens that I have basically retired. I retired the lens because I don't like it. And it's the Canon 10 to 18 EFS lens. And guess what? It works wonderful on this camera. No, that's not what you're looking at, okay? So I walked around the house today. I recorded myself this way, that way, on, stabilization off. I walked around the backyard. I put it up on YouTube, private, of course, to see what it looks like and all that kind of stuff. So I have found a new lens that I thought I didn't like, but on this camera, it is absolutely excellent. It even has image stabilization built into it. That's the Canon EF 10 to 18 lens. So that lens goes on this adapter beautifully, because this adapter, which is this one right here, okay, oh, that's not straight. There we go, okay. That adapter, which is the Sigma MC21 adapter. All right, so the Sigma MC21 adapter, what its job in life is, which it's right here, okay? So I could actually separate this like that, okay? So this is the adapter right there. This goes on the Panasonic camera right there. And when you put this on the Panasonic camera, it becomes able to receive all of the EF mount lenses, which I have plenty of EF mount lenses, okay? So this is the 50L. It's a 1.2 50L EF lens. It's actually one of Canon's nicest lenses. So here we go. When I mount this on the camera, then I could take this lens and I can mount this lens right here like that, and I put it on. And I actually even spoke to Randy this week because out of nowhere we were getting like little flashes of light. And Randy said that I didn't seat the adapter properly. So it is seated properly. But if I'm holding this in my hand, what are you looking at? Well, I bought a $9, $10 adapter. I forgot where. I think it's on Amazon. I should put the link to it. Okay. So I put the adapter on there for my dad's old Konica Hexanon AR lenses. Don't even have, well, I do have the camera. It's a film camera. We're talking about the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, and I think the camera disappeared. But I've got 4 or 5 Hexanon AR lenses. You're looking at them run right now. So there's no automatic focus on here, so I can go like this all night long. There's no electronic connection. So I had to manually focus. So how did I manually focus? Well, I took this mic, which is the Christmas room mic. I put it on this stand, which I use a lot. And then I arranged it so the mic was basically right here. Here we go, at my nose, okay? So then I walked away and went over there and I manually focused it so that this, I put the focus peaking on and I moved it to green because there's not a whole lot of green in here, okay? So I focused it manually and that's what you're looking at right now. You're looking at a Konica Hexanon, and I should put that in the title because that might attract people to come here and watch, okay? So let's see. Randy said hi. And so it's what the specs on this lens is a Hexanon, Hex, H-E-X-A, non, Hexanon AR. So the mount is called AR. Like on the Canon, it's called an EF mount. On this camera, the S5 II, it's called a Leica L mount. Okay, so on the Nikon, it's called an S mount. Every one of the cameras have their own mount. So this is a Hexanon AR mount on an adapter that goes from Hexanon AR to Leica L. There's no, it's like $9, all right? There's no electronic connection. This lens didn't have any electronics in it at all. But instead of it being a 50 millimeter 1.4, it's a 57 millimeter 1.4, which is perfect. So this is hand focused. So we're actually running a vintage lens. A vintage lens in the Christmas room with good old Santa. Ho, 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 ho. All right. So that's what you're looking at. And I focused it just a little bit in front of me. So I put the mic right up here, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. All right. And the reason that I did that is I have a tendency to lean forward. Okay. So if I lean forward far enough, okay, I can't do it here. But if I do it here, this camera will focus, all right? So when we get enough money, we're going to get an 85 millimeter proper lens to go on here, all right? That's what we're, anybody that wants to donate, the links are in the description below. Just put in there, ka-ching, put your $5 in, your $10 in, and that will add up until we get to the, what is it, $400 or $500 to get to that lens, all right? So we have Jim Monday in here, and we got Jeff from Australia. He flew all the way in just to be with me tonight. Good day, Peter. On again, what time are you? It's 1:03 p.m. in Brisbane, so it would have been 11:03 because now it's 11:14. So I've talked for 10 minutes by the time I got here. So the difference is 12 plus 2 hours. So 12 plus 2 hours. So it's 14 hours ahead where you are going to be sleeping tonight. Here's my friend Aaron. I haven't seen you in a while. I was thinking I was going to call you, see if you're A-okay, and then it dawned on me, ka-ching. Hey, the man is out doing gigs. He's not here Friday night. That's the hot night. That's when he's going to be out doing his shows. So that's what I figured. But I'm going like, did I get him mad at me? I don't think so. But you never know. I talk so much, sometimes I don't remember what I say. So he's not mad. He's here. He's saying hello. How are you and your wife and the cat and the dog and the mouse and everything else that lives in your apartment? Aaron is in New York. He's got a guitar. Don't leave so quick. Come back. He's got a guitar channel, but he's a singer, professional, and a guitar player, professional, musician, professional. So his channel is called Aaron Short Music. And I think on Sundays, is it Sundays, Aaron, where you do a live show? If it's still happening, but it used to be. So good to see you. I love you, Aaron. Thank you for being here. And Jim says, I'm showing up. There he goes. There's Jim right there. And he's showing up probably to work because I was talking about work back then. And speaking of work, Randy is actually answering my question. He works tomorrow and he's off on Tuesday. If they don't show up, they don't get paid for the holiday. Whoa, unless they have leave scheduled or using FLMA for sickness or a doctor's excuse. Okay, so in other words, you just can't choose to take the day off tomorrow because you work for the U.S. government. You either have to have a scheduled leave using FLMA, whatever that is, for sickness, or a doctor's excuse. So tomorrow, Randy is going into work, and then, because he works for the U.S. Post Office, and then on Tuesday, he gets the day off. So what about you? You guys working tomorrow? Anybody take a long weekend like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and you'll be back to work on Wednesday? So if you did, here's Sam. How you doing? Hi, Peter. I wish, I was in the Keys last week, and it was great. A little hot, though. Just a teeny weeny little hot. A little bit hot. So, well, anyway, you did make it back in time. You got back safely going on the Keys Highway. It's one road going down, and it's the same road coming back. So he was in the Keys. What were you doing in the Keys? Did you stay overnight? Do you have a house down there? I was wondering. Okay, so anyway. Randy says, Aaron Short Music. He bought the ZB1 M2 and love it. Waiting for the A7C or Mark II or the ZF. So that is what Randy's waiting for, and I think we got that too. Andre is here. Hi, Peter. Good to see you. A little prayer for Chuck from AP Studios. He seems to be unwell based on the comments I read. I was wondering, did I miss his show? And then I went looking for it, Andre, and he was not there. So I figured, I went through a punch list or a list of possibilities. His wife needed to go somewhere. He wanted the day off because we got the long weekend, and maybe he and his wife went somewhere. Maybe he had technical problems, or it's possible that he's under the weather. So if you know what's going on, we will pray for Andre. I cover him with, not Andre. I'll pray for you too, Andre, no problem. We'll pray for Chuck. Is it very serious? Do you have any information at all that you did while you were doing your detective work on the channel? Or is it just kind of like he's under the weather? Like my sister-in-law, she caught COVID. And it hit her hard for the first 2 days, hard enough where she went to the emergency room, not knowing she had COVID. And then she tested, they did a test for COVID, they did a test for the flu, and they did a test for strep throat. And the COVID came back positive. So she's sleeping upstairs, and my brother is sleeping downstairs, okay? And of course, they're all stocked up on all kinds of stuff like oil of oregano and the silver water and vitamin D3 and zinc tablets. And she went out and laid in the sun because our neighbor right behind us, well, not the one directly behind us, but one over, 2 years ago when the epidemic was very, very scary, the whole family caught COVID. And he has a 2-year-old child, a 5-year-old child, his son, who's a policeman, his wife, and then he's got his own wife, has her mother and father. And the whole slew of them caught COVID. So it was a bad deal. So he took the whole family, he packed them up like Sam, and went down to the Keys. And he said the worst thing to do if you got COVID is to hit the bed. Now, when I get sick, I'm sorry, I'm one of those guys that when you get sick, it's like, oh, I can't move, you know, and I hit the bed. But he told me, Peter, don't go to bed if you get COVID. Get out in the sun, stay a little bit active, lay out in the chair, wear sunscreen, of course. So he took the whole family, including the kids. He said 3 or 4 days later, they were like 80% better. From a little 2-year-old to the abuela and abuelo, which are in the 90s, where they thought that COVID back then could kill people, and it did, okay? But they've discovered a whole bunch of new stuff, although they still play the same song. Get the jab, get the jab. It doesn't do squat, okay? It's not a medication. It's supposed to be a, what do they call them? Whatever that is. But it doesn't, it's not a medication if you get sick. So now they're finding the people that actually took the shot, that they're more likely, most likely to get sick, because it basically strengthens the body to look for a certain strain of the 19, okay? But it weakens the body's ability to do other things. That's the negative. They just happen to, oops, we forgot to tell everybody about that, all right? So, and then it can bother your heart. You get water around your heart. My own nephew, strapping young lad in his 30s, fine. And all of a sudden, bam, he wasn't feeling good. He went to the doctor. The doctor said, you're not going home. You're going from here. I'm going to call the ambulance, and you're going to go from here to the hospital. Your heart is not beating correctly. Don't you read that people like big strapping young men that are out there and strong, and they die? Boom. Okay, well, my nephew got into very serious condition. They couldn't find what was wrong. Okay, and his heart started to collect water around the perimeter of the heart. So that's the danger of the that shot. Okay, and it's not the fault of the shot. It's the fault of the people and the testing, and it didn't go through a normal thing. It's not even a normal shot where you normally get a dead version of the disease and they inject it into you and your body learns to fight it off. Well, they didn't do that. On this one, it actually teaches the body to look like a homing device for this bacteria and to resist it, okay? But the problem is the bacteria started to change. That's number one. Number two, it actually lowered the body's ability to fight other parts. Now, this is not a political thing. It's just what happens, all right? So they've been updating it, and if you started on it and you want to continue, you need to get the updated vaccines, okay? And there's a reason for that, because the target moved, all right? So I never took the vaccine at all, and I was scared to not take the vaccine. But I talked a couple of times, actually, to my nutritionist, and he said, Peter, no matter what happens with the vaccine, without the vaccine, he says the bottom line is your body has to fight it off, one way or the other. There's no two ways about that. It's not a medication where it destroys it, okay? It tells your body to find it and to your body to start fighting against it. The vaccine doesn't kill it at all. So if you think, oh, the vaccine kills it, no, it does not kill it. It targets and programs the body to go after it, target it, and kill it. That's what it does, okay? So there's a lot of things that complicated the whole series. Now that can get political, so I'm not going to go there, all right? But the government and the corporations took it upon themselves to stifle the conversation that we should normally have. Like, I didn't know till months later I should be taking vitamin D3. I didn't know I should be taking zinc. I didn't know I should be taking other things, okay? Oil of oregano if you're into alternative stuff and supplements and stuff. And that's what my nutritionist told me. He says, you need to strengthen your immunity system to fight it off, because one way or the other, there is no two ways about it. Your immunity system has to fight it off, just like the flu. It's a version of the flu. The major difference is, instead of being upper respiratory, it's lower respiratory. It's deep. That's why when the fluid gets down in there, there was a big shortage on the iron lungs, because your body can't get air down in the lungs. This is bad, okay? So people were hanging on to this vaccine as if it was the medication. Now we do have a couple of medications. It took its long time to get out. And I think there's just 2. Now, in the meantime, a lot of people, including me, started studying, how do I strengthen my immunity system? Because even if I'm vaccinated, it's my immunity system that the vaccine is supposed to kick in to get it to kill it. And the vaccine doesn't strengthen your immunity system. It alerts it. And if you have a weak-ass immunity system, your ability to fight is not going to succeed. And people were dying because of that. Okay? So what we needed to do was exactly what we were told to start with. All right? Wash our hands. And the reason I mention that is because I've noticed people have slacked off. People pick their nose, they rub their eyes, they don't wash their hands. My neighbor came to visit me, okay, and he's the kind of guy that violates your personal space. I mean, you can smell his breath. That's how close he has to get. So I said, you know, in October, I'm going to be 70 years old. I'm still a little bit worried about the virus. Can you just kind of give me a little bit of space, okay? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it. But I mean, he gets right up in your face to talk to you, and it's like, I hope he gargled because his breath doesn't smell so hot. All right, so this is not a pro for the vaccine or a negative for the vaccine, but I do notice in a large amount. So my sister-in-law went to the emergency room. She was diagnosed and tested positive for 19. Do you know the nurses and the doctors did absolutely nothing to protect themselves? No masks, nothing. That's what I'm talking about. I still rinse my hands with the sanitation whenever I go in or out, okay? When I get the mail, I still will put my hand because it just dispenses. After I open the mail, read it, put most of it in the garbage, okay? I will sanitize my hands. Most people don't even bother doing that, okay? When I go to the grocery store and I bring the groceries in the house, I fill the sink halfway up with water, and I put a good cap full of Clorox in there, swirl it up, and anything that's dunkable, I dunk it and put it on the counter to dry off with the Clorox on it before it goes in the fridge. Now, if I bought a box of cereal, that's obviously not going to go in the water, okay? The word stupid is not written on my forehead. So I'm still practicing, what would you call it? A good cleanliness, okay? Whatever it is. I haven't stopped. Now, I don't wear the mask anymore, okay? And there's an argument of if that mask works or not, but psychologically, I felt better when I was wearing the mask. I really did. So that's the only thing that changed for me. Still sanitize my hands. I still purposely try not to pick my nose. Okay, you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but never, ever, ever pick your friend's nose. Okay, so I try not to pick my nose, rub my eyes. Anywhere where there's a hole on my body, I try not to touch it. When I come in or out the door, there's a dispenser, so I go bzzzt, and it gives me it, and I put the sanitation. I do it with the mail. I still wipe the groceries down. Either I spray Clorox, the kitchen Clorox on the paper towel and wipe it down, or I just do the dunking. It got too much to wipe everything down. So you dunk it, the Clorox will evaporate after a period of time, and then it just goes right in the fridge. So everything that's dunkable, here's your key word, dunkable, actually gets dunked. So people have slacked off. So I'll bet you $1 to donuts we have another reoccurrence because of the people slacking off. Instead, I also have a bottle in my car. I don't have one in here. It's a short little bottle. It's a 2-ounce spritzer, okay? And I have a bottle of sanitizer solution in there because when I get in the car, okay, I usually look in the mirror. I'm going to comb my hair or what I'm going to touch my face. So when I get in the car, first thing I do is I pick up my sanitization spritzer. I spritz my face. I spritz my hands. Okay, then I touch my steering wheel. All right. So I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. Don't get me, don't think I'm perfect or anything, but I haven't thrown away all the precautions. And as my buddies and my friends, I urge you, don't throw away the precautions. Keep them in motion. We do have flu season where you get the flu. Just the plain old flu and cough and people with bad odor and people that have bad breath and people that are just not clean people. Okay? They touch parts of their body and then they'll shake your frickin' hand. I still do the bump. Okay? Hey, how you doing, Charlie? I'm fine. How are you doing, Peter? Good to see you. And I'll put my hand up before they do that. I'll do that. Okay? And they'll go, oh, and then they'll bump me. Okay? So this is as a precaution for whatever the next round is going to be. And in the meantime, I learned a lot. I take vitamins now that I haven't. I take D3, zinc, K2, oil of oregano, and now I have added something called silver water, okay, which you shouldn't take more than 2 tablespoons a day because there is a danger with silver water. But 1 teaspoon, or I spritz my face. So if I answer the door and there's someone at the door, which is not a normal occurrence, I don't answer the door anymore. Somebody rings the doorbell and they haven't texted me first, like I'm coming over or something. I'm not a dog. You know, when you ring the bell, the dog automatically runs or barks, okay, a Pavlov's reaction. So, but if I answer the door or I talk to my neighbor or something, I'll spritz my face with the silver water. I got a rash on my leg here, which I could see, but you can't. No, you can't see it, okay? So I'll spritz that with the silver water. You can look that up. It's on Amazon. It's called colloidal silver water. It's a bacteria and a viral killer, just like oil of oregano. Okay, it actually kills bacteria, it kills viruses and stuff like that. It's used heavily when you have acne on your face or something to that effect. They still use it in hospitals. They've done away with it because pharmaceutical companies, they want your cash. You got money, give it to us, okay? And you got left, you give it to the IRS, all right? So silver has fallen out of favor. But silver was used even in biblical days. It's a virus and a bacteria killer. So you can make your own bottle of silver water or you could buy it on Amazon. Maybe I should put a link to it. And it's a liquid. And you could take a teaspoon of it a day and that cleans from the inside. But you have to have the kind that you could take internally. Don't just have silver gel and stick it in your mouth because they make a gel, okay? So let's get back to Oklahoma. Okay, so Randy is working tomorrow. Sam says he was in the Keys last week and it was great. A little hot though. Yeah, the whole country, or a big chunk of the country, is having a heat wave. We're having a heat wave. We're having a heat wave. Okay, so Randy's talking to Aaron. Andre's here. He told me to pray for Chuck. And we all pray for Chuck right now. In Jesus' name, we pray Chuck is well, healed, and healthy. Not only him, but his wife too. So this is what we do when we get together, boys. Okay, we just shoot up a prayer. We don't have to bow our heads, get on our knees. God can hear us whether our knees are touching the ground or not. That's the way I prayed. And if you're not a Christian, you pray anyway, pray. Do it. Why would you not pray? So Woody is here. Every day is Saturday for me. Don't hassle over holidays anymore. Oh, that Woody is kind of like retired. So, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, he's out taking pictures. That's his hobby. So if you find Woody Mallory, see where it's in red? Boom, right there. If you find him on Facebook, you'll see lots of the pictures. He likes to do a lot of birding pictures. And I'll tell you a secret. Woody bought the Nikon Z8. Shh, it's a secret. Okay. So, Sam says, I was in the Keys. Sam says, I was in the Keys for VACATION. We're gonna have a ball. Who does that song? Do you know who does that song? VACATION. We're gonna have a ball. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, scuba diving and having fun. Andre says, hopefully, Chuck is just under the weather, but I really have no information. Okay, well, no news might be good news, but maybe Roy might know because Roy has been live with him often. Only 24 minutes late. Hey, you're doing better. So it's Monday for you over there. 12 plus 2 is 14 hours. Are you at work or are you at home? So Woody is saying hello to Roy. Roy is saying good day, Peter. He's talking to me. Roy was talking to me. Ha! He was talking to me. So let's remember, what you're seeing up here is not true. I am running a vintage lens. Does it look like it's soft focus? You think it moved? Well, let's focus it again. Okay, so now you can actually see how I do this. So I raise this up, I tighten it down. Okay, I take this mic off and I give me a mic that's got higher contrast. Okay, so this is higher contrast. Now I bring this over here and I put it right in front of my nose. And now I just talk like I normally talk. Okay, so now I want to focus here. That's what I want to be in focus. Now, because I've got good contrast here, and actually the ball is a screen, so it's got black and white even though you can't see it. So now I'm going to go over there and make sure I didn't bump it and got out of focus, and you'll see it happen. Watch, watch. Okay? Actually, it's just changed cameras. Well, you know what? I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to put it here because I think you'd like to watch. So let's go to the Lumix. Okay, so that's the Lumix. And let's freeze them. Okay, so now I'm going to push the button that magnifies the center. Okay, and then I'm going to put, okay, I see no green at all on the mic. See? Out of focus. Well, you can't see the green. Okay, so now the mic, the whole ball head of the mic is actually green. So that should be sharp focus. So you just saw me manually focus it. By the way, the Canon R6 focuses manually a lot better, or it's got more help for you, let's put it that way, than this guy. So the R6 will actually, then I'm going to put this, because I'm not using this mic. How do you know I'm not using this mic? I don't know. How do you think you know that I'm not using this mic? Okay, so I'm going to lower that down, and I'm going to spin that mic out of the way because I'm using the lapel mic. Okay, now that doesn't look soft to me. Okay, so we'll watch this. I wonder if it creeps. Why should it creep? There's nothing moving over there. I do have the white fan blowing across all the cameras and the talent. Okay, so you got to see me. Now the R6, if I did that, the R6 would actually give me a focus confirmation. This one is a focus guess. So this is as much green as the green is the, where you put that thing on where it does the focus peaking and you pick your color, and as you turn it, it'll turn that color. It could be green, could be red, it could be yellow, whatever you want. So I use the green when I'm in here because there's very little green in here, so it's easy for me to see. Now if I use red in here, everything is red, so it's kind of hard to tell if I'm in focus. So I'm using the green. So the whole ball head, like the whole face, turned green. So when I had the most green available, that was manual focus achieved. You think I should make a video on that for the big channel? Was it interesting or just damn boring? Okay, let's get that to stand up. All right, so let's set this camera free. So Roy says he's here, but he's only 24 minutes late. Woody is saying hi to Roy. Roy is saying good day, Peter. All the way down to an ordinary filmmaker. You should be in bed sawing wood, snoring. You and Liam. And your wife. So it's a treat for them to be in here. Does that mean there's news on the horizon? Well, we're heading into summer, so the news is going to die down for a little bit. But I decided, I told it at the beginning how I wound up going live tonight. I tripped and accidentally turned all the cameras on, combed my hair, and put my shirt on. And then I fell in the chair. that's how I went live tonight. If you believe that one, I have another one for you. I've got a camera to sell you. It's Sunday with Peter. Hello, Peter. How you doing, Simon? Good to see you. And you guys, Simon has a son who I'm best friends with, okay? And his name is Liam. And I've known him since 4, 5, 6, I think he's 8 years old now. He put out a video today, an 8-year-old boy, okay? And his dad is letting him use his 70D, and his dad is letting him use the computer, which is, whoo, that's something interesting. And the boy is doing his own editing. He's doing his own clips, transitions, and he's doing his own filming and audio. And of course, his dad oversees the whole thing. He's 8 years old. Come on, give me a break. So the name of Liam's channel is Planet Liam, L-I-A-M. So you can go and see it. It's a child's YouTube, so you can't make a comment, okay? But you can go to Ordinary Filmmaker and leave a comment because I can just pick up the phone and call him and tell him, hey, that was a good video. But you can't do that. Why? Because you don't know the phone number. It's that simple. What's the phone number? I'll tell you. Get a paper and a pencil, and I will tell you his phone number. 411. I would never violate anybody's privacy. So Randy's giving a thumbs up, and Roy is on top of the vaccine. We can get a free antiviral pack from the local doctor here. I think they gave us free something, and I don't remember what the free something was. So, you know, the lens that I used before this, which is this one, okay, that one's not going to stay here permanently, obviously. This is the one that's going to go back. But I wanted to do a vintage lens to see what it looks like. It's kind of fun, right? So if I lean forward, that's what I want. If I lean backwards, so it stays in focus. That's why I put the mic at the tip of my nose, because when I focus, I notice that there's a bigger focus envelope in front of my face than there is behind. And most people don't talk and do that, okay? But most people will try to emphasize, and they will lean forward. So that gives me a little bit of something. So this is the Hexanon AR mount Konica lens, 57 millimeter, 1.4, okay? But I wish this lens was an autofocus lens, honestly. So Roy is talking to Randy. I've never known Chuck to miss 2 shows in a row. Yeah. So you guys keep your ear to the ground, okay? Chuck, if you're watching tonight and it's not something that you can't share, just I've seen you come in and say hi. So come in and say hi. Just say you got a cold, you're under the weather. We want to know you didn't have something very serious and you're in the ER or something. Was he taking some time off for the holiday? That was one of my guesses, that he was taking some time off for the holiday. But Andre said he's under the weather. So we actually got some information. Chuck has not said anything on his Facebook page. That is a little bit not like him, okay? It would be more likely that Chuck would say, I had to stay in bed this week and I'm doing okay. I'm under the weather. I got fever. I'm coughing. I'm throwing up. I got diarrhea. I can't leave the toilet, you know. And might not be him. Maybe he needs to be taking care of his wife, or maybe it's another family member. So you never know what it would be if the person doesn't say. So if something like that happened to me, I might not be able to tell you, but I would tell one of my friends for sure, like Randy. Now Randy is the moderator. He's a moderator here, but he's also the moderator on my Facebook page. So he would be able to say, Peter said to tell you, he's dying, is in the hospital, and he likes white and red flowers. And then you would send me flowers, okay? And if I actually do die, it's the same flowers, but except all white. I like white carnations. Yeah, I'm not that, you know, fancy. So I would like, you know, the big flower piece. They call that the casket cover. Made 1 million of them, okay? Because I worked with Dad at the flower shop. So everybody wants the fanciest thing possible. Now, the brother that is actually suing me, my brother Mark, makes the most beautiful casket covers ever. He made the one for my mother. He made the one for my dad. And they were stunningly gorgeous. He's just an a-hole when it comes to dealing with his brothers. But in terms of his talent, spot on. Excellent. Better than excellent. Okay. So Woody says Chuck hasn't said anything on his Facebook page. Ordinary Simon says it's rude to pick your nose in company unless you have enough to share with everyone. That's gross. It's okay to pick your nose. It's okay to pick your friends, but never, ever, ever pick your friend's nose. Okay? And don't share. Eat it all yourself. Roy says, Randy, I believe he's very ill. So I will drill down into it. Okay? So either tomorrow or something, I will drill down into it to find out what I can find out. Some stuff people want to keep remaining private, okay, and that will be maintained. But if it's something we should all be praying about, it's something that we should all be praying about. And if you're not a praying man, start. What am I going to tell you? I'm 70 years old. I have nothing to lose than to tell you the truth. If you're not a praying man, damn it, start praying. What the hell are you waiting for? Yeah, I just said hell. Pray. Say, hi, God. It's me again. Oh, my God. I have a prayer journal because I can't remember everything I want to pray about. Okay, so your name, I jot it down. Okay, so when I come to pray, God goes, oh, no, it's him again. Everybody run, hide. So Simon... Sorry, Simon. I got into a joking mood. I got it twice in 6 months because I slacked off. Okay. I never got it in 3 years, but he slacked off. And I didn't slack off, but just a little bit. I don't wear the mask anymore, but I never believed the mask did anything. But the first couple of times that I went to Publix, which is our big grocery store down here, and I took the mask off because nobody was wearing the mask. I'm the only one in the whole frickin' store wearing the mask. I looked to my left, I looked to my right, and I'm the only one wearing the mask. So I took it off. In about 3 minutes, I had to put it back on. It just felt wrong to be in the grocery store without the mask, okay? Now, when it started, if you walked in somewhere without a mask, they would, if they could kill you with their eyes, they would look at you and stare at you. Nobody had the balls to come up and say, you've got to put your mask on, which is what happened. I forgot to put my mask on, okay? So this Konica Hexanon, this lens has got to be 20 and 30, it's got to be 50 to 60 years old, okay? Wide open, at 1.4, this don't look half bad, honestly. So, and I got 4 different lenses. I got the 57 millimeter. I think I have either a 35 or a 28 millimeter. I have a 100 millimeter. I have a 135 millimeter, and I have a 200 millimeter. So I got 5. I got 5 of these lenses. And the adapter is a dummy adapter, meaning there's no electronics, because there's no electronics in this lens either. So it couldn't focus if it wanted to. So, but people are very much into vintage lenses. So I am running a vintage lens tonight. And I guess I should say it in here, because up here it says I'm running the 50L, and I'm not. Here is the 50L. It's not possible to be in my hands, excuse me, and on the camera at the same time. I've tried it. You cannot put, unless you got 2 lenses, and I don't have 2 50L lenses. This is the Canon EF 50L lens 1.2. Okay, so what I have is a Hexanon to Leica L adapter on there, and I got Dad's old 57 millimeter Konica Hexanon lens. So I should say that because people might think I'm actually running this, and I'm going to change the title to say vintage lens on the Panasonic S5 Mark II, something like that. But I can't do that till I get off the air, okay? So Simon is giving us a backup to what I just said. Don't slack off, especially with kids that go to school and everything. And as soon as they walk in the door, okay, they need to wash their hands before they go sticking and touching everything in the refrigerator. It's just that, forget about 19, just the flu. They could be laid up, you could be laid up in bed for the flu, and the flu will hit you in your respiratory system, okay? So, a word to the wise. Roy says, I got COVID, but I wouldn't have known except for a PET. The vaccine really works. So what is the PET for a PET? A PET scan? Not sure, but I'm sure Roy is going to tell us. Doorknobs used to be made from brass because the copper kills bacteria and virus. So they took away the boy, Roy, that's crazy, isn't it? So copper and silver kill bacteria, viruses and bacteria. And years ago, when they didn't have the medications that they have now, they would use copper, they would use silver. So they would take a silver dollar or a bar of silver and they put it in water. They didn't know how to do it today, okay, like they do it today, all right? But they would get nanoparticles, microscopic particles of silver or copper, get it in the water, and they would get the guy to sip on it, or the girl, or the kid, and they would sip on that water, okay? So now we don't touch very much silver, and we don't touch very much copper anymore, where you would have a little bit of silver and a little bit of copper. Now, I was talking to Sly on the phone the other day, and when she lived off the grid completely, they had to clean their own water. And one of the water cleansers that she used, there was like 4 or 5 stages. She says they have like a 10 by 12 or 12 by 12 room just to cleanse the water that came out of the pond, okay? And she was telling me, and one of the, not the last one, the last stage is a charcoal filter, but one of the next to the last was copper. And she was buying these copper things, and then they finally figured it out. Copper pennies, sterilize them, and she would fill up a huge tub of pennies and run the water through the copper and out the bottom, and the copper itself would sterilize the water, okay? This is not 50, 100 years ago. This is like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when she lived where the water supply was coming out of the local pond that looked dirty. So she had to sterilize the water. She had kids. So you couldn't give kids pond water and say, here, drink this with your vitamins, okay? So I was talking to her, and she said that just the copper pennies, it was what you had to put her water through as one of the sterilization procedures. And she says it has to be flowing. You're not going to soak the water in pennies, okay? So it has to enter into the tank with $1 gazillion worth of pennies and then exit. And that water will have been treated with a copper solution. Well, they do that with silver, which is even more potent than copper. And what I do is I take a silver rod like that, okay? It looks like a very long Q-tip. Picture a Q-tip that's about that long, okay? And there's 2 of them. 2! I said 2, not 1, okay? And you stick them in this jar, and you put a positive charge on this one and a negative charge on this one. So you would put 3 or 4 of the 9-volt batteries. You know how you can clip them back and forth to each other? Or nowadays, you just use your Apple charger, all right? And you would charge the silver. And the charge would go from this rod, this big, huge, long Q-tip, to the other one. And it releases microscopic, you can't see it, okay? You can't even see nothing, into the water, and you put it in for 3 hours. And I run it up so it's 10 ppm, parts per million. I have one of those cheapy meters. They say it's not accurate, but when I start off at 0 or 1 and I'm up to 15, there's some silver in that there water, all right? That's all I need to know. So what I do is I take a teaspoon a day, especially if I don't feel well. So right now I feel fine. I'm not taking taking a teaspoon a day, okay? But I got it in a spritzer bottle. So I got a rash on my leg. It's red. It looks kind of like athlete's foot, but up by my knee, okay? So went to the doctor. Doctor gave me cream. Cream did absolutely nothing. Nothing. It did nothing. What the hell was the cream for? Well, it did nothing. So I read Okay, no, it started with Randy. Randy said when he was in the military, he was in barracks all over the world. He would get stationed in Germany, he would get stationed in Australia, he would get stationed in Austria, he would get stationed in who knows where. But Randy has been around the world, okay? And he said they couldn't wait for the medication. You take a shower with 1,000 guys, one got athlete foot, guess what? The whole barracks is going to get athlete's foot. So that goes also for jock itch, which is the same thing as athlete's foot. So the same fungus, depending on where it is on your body, has got 3 different names. So if it's on your wiener area, we're boys here, right? It's called jock itch. If it's on your toes, it's called athlete's foot. If it's anywhere else on your body, which I have it on my leg, okay, it's called ringworm. Worms are not involved at all. It's the same fungus as the other 2. So Randy says when they were in the military, they would use this stuff called heat, or nowadays icy hot. And he says you would have to rub it on your toes, on your leg. You'd have to rub it on your balls. That must have felt great, right? But he said in 2, 3, 4 days, it was basically gone, all right? So I started buying the icy hot, and I was putting it on. And guess what? The cream that the doctor gave me didn't do nothing. But the icy hot, I would say it backed it off by at least 50%, okay? And then when I stumbled across the silver water, I made my first batch 2 weeks ago, and I would say it's 95% gone now. So I put it in a little spritzer bottle. You know how the girls go, pss, 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 okay? So it's a 2-ounce bottle. I sent one to an 18-year-old boy. He's got acne on his face, okay? And he wanted to try it. So I try to help kids. So I sent one to him. I don't think he's tried it yet, but it kills the bacteria that causes acne. So if he wanted to, he could take a teaspoon of that, because it's nothing but distilled water and silver. You don't add nothing to it. And then before you put it in the spritzer bottle, you just shake a little around so it sterilizes the whole bottle. And then you spritz a little bit, and then the whole flow is sterilized. So if like the neighbor came the other day, like I said, and got very close to my face, well, I did this, I did that. I took the spritzer, I opened my mouth, and I gave it 2 good sprays right in my mouth. Because that man breathed all over me. It was gross, but you don't know, if he's carrying something. So you could spritz it in your mouth, but it has to be silver water, and it's usually around 10 to 20 ppm. So that's parts per million. So for every million drops, okay, there's 10 parts of silver. So, some a-hole will say, well, what about metal poisoning? You ain't going to get metal poisoning from that. Like Roy just said, the doorknobs are made out of copper. You're going to get metal poisoning. You touch the doorknob 100 times a day, okay? So you got to pay attention to the source these days, honestly. So here, this is where Roy said, doorknobs used to be made from brass because copper kills bacteria and viruses. So Roy's got a fantastic sense of humor. So what Roy is saying, they take the good stuff away from you, okay, and leave you with the bad stuff, and then you wonder, why do I get sick? Kids used to play out in the dirt. They would get the minerals from the dirt on their feet, on their hands. Their mother, you come in, and the mother would say, get in that shower right away, get in the bathtub. And there'd be a ring of mud around the bathtub when the boy finished playing in the mud and taking his bath, okay? Now, we play video computers. We shoot ions into our eyes and our face. That's what the kids do nowadays, okay? What time is it? 12. I've been on an hour. I haven't even gotten started yet. Oh, this is going to be a long one. I can feel it in my bones. No, it's not. I can just say, okay, thank you for being here, and just sign off. Okay? There's no rules tonight. There's no rules ever. I'm 70 years old. There's very few rules I have to follow. I have to be good. I have to be kind. I have to pray. I have to be nice and respect the pets and all that stuff. I have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or I can skip one and just eat 2, or I can skip 2 and just eat 1. there's a few rules. Now that I think about it, I shouldn't have started. So Roy says, I've only managed to get 85% retired so far. It's by percentage, right? Well, when you get to the 100%, ding, Roy made it to retirement. Don't retire, Roy. That's what they say. When you retire, you die. So just change careers. Do like Randy. Okay, when Randy retires from the post office, he's already got what, 800-900 videos up? Do you have 800-900 videos up? I don't think I got 200 up, and I've been doing this 12 years. Randy is on a streak. And I don't mean this in an offensive way or not, Randy, but whether the video is a good video or not, it doesn't matter. He's there constantly in front of the people. So to have 800-900 videos, okay, that's a huge, I need to be more like Randy. Well, when I grow up, I want to be like Randy. Okay, I need to be pumping out the videos and not give a crap, okay, to what people think. So Roy says, what toddler did you steal the red mic from? Excuse me, excuse me. This is the Christmas room mic. When Santa came, Santa left his own mic, candy cane color. Hello, Roy. You have been out of circulation too long. This is a Christmas room. Everything is Christmas themed. Is the mic Christmas themed? By golly, yes. If I was going to get another one, it would be green and white. So I'd have a pair, red and white and green and white. Now you see how I'm sitting up and leaning forward? That's why when I focused, I put a little bit in front because I have a tendency, and so do you, don't be laughing at me, to lean forward, okay? Most people don't go like, oh, I'm talking to people, and then just going back like that. So I like to focus a little bit forward, okay? You ought to be grateful that I'm not one of those gay people that like to wear earrings. Nothing against the gay people, nothing against earrings. But I would wear 2 of these. I'd have to get a lighter version. Roy, you opened the door. I know you made a joke, but damn, you walked in that one. So Raymond is here. Hi, Ray. Good to see you. Love you, buddy. Peter is in his random stream mood again. Ray has got my number. That's exactly. I said it at the beginning, okay? That, how did I go live? I went, took a shower. I dried my hair. You can see sticking out all over the place. Oh, that ain't too bad, all right? And I came in here to make sure all the cameras were off, and I tripped. And as I fell, I accidentally turned all the cameras on, turned on the computer, put on a blue shirt, combed my hair, and plopped into the chair. Oh, and hit the mouse button that said go live. And if you believe that one, I've got a candy cane to sell you. Green focus peaking. Yeah, I picked that color. You know, you could pick your own color, right? 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 Yeah, sorry, Roy. I got stuck. Ray says, I broke my Sony 24-105 f4 lens. The Tamron 28-200 f2 at 5.6 looks like a promising replacement. Not only promising, that sucker's going to be fun, and it's basically half the price of the Sony lens. Oh yeah, I have the Tamron 17-28. It beats the Sony 16-35 2.8. And you could just YouTube it. You don't have to take my word for it, okay? So I think Tamron and Sigma is behind the scenes making lenses for some of these big boys that can't get out there to compete with Canon, who's got a lens library big enough to choke a horse. So yeah, and the 28-200, you know something? That sucker is going to be so much fun because I had the 18, I think it was 200 Canon lens with when I had the R7 in here. I got it with the 18-200. That was so much fun. It was crazy good. So if you wind up with that lens, just watch a few videos. Everyone has got, they always feel they have to tell you that there's something wrong. So just take that with a grain of salt, okay? A grain of salt, maybe 2 grains of salt, maybe 3 grains of salt. I like a lot of salt on my food. Can you tell I like salt on my food? Plus, I'm drinking distilled water now, okay, which means there's no minerals in it. So my nutritionist, no, don't do that. Don't drink distilled water. I said, why? It's the cleanest water you can get. There's no minerals. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. I said, well, what can I do? What can I do? And he said, oh, it's simple. I said, well, Amazon got these drops. It's $45 a bottle, and you put 2 drops in your water. He says, that's a ripoff. All you need is 1/4 teaspoon of Celtic sea salt or Himalayan sea salt. It's got to be one of those 2 only, okay, into a whole gallon. And you've got double the minerals of what is actually in the water that you think you've got a lot of minerals. So I put a little salt in the water, and then you know what? I forgot a couple of times. So I did something that I would normally like to do anyway. I put a little extra salt on my food. Oh my God, my food tasted so much better, and I'm getting all the ding-dong minerals that I want. Okay, and whatever. So Roy says, I need to learn a new video editor. Mine is 30 years old. I think I'm going to do a video, Roy, just because as a content creator, I'm supposed to make videos. I think I'm going to make a video on the iMovie, the free, because everybody's got, and people love free. Free. It's almost a language. How much is it? Free. Well, how much is it really? Free. Is it really free? It's free. Free. There you go. Okay. So I might do a video on iMovie and show people how easy it is to use the free, I just said it, okay, that comes with the Apple. Now, I don't know what the free editor for video is on the Windows side, but since I don't have Windows operating anymore, I really can't do that. So Roy says, maybe Chuck's wife caught him buying another lens and put him in the hospital. Well, if the man's down, we're going to refrain from teasing him. Ooh, I am trying to refrain. He ate too many M&Ms. His blood sugar went up. Yeah, if he's sick, he could be told he eats too much sugar. So Simon says, put your hands in the air, Simple Simon says. Shake them to your left, Simple Simon says. But I actually like, put your left foot in, take your left foot out, put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. You do that hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Hey Siri, what is it all about? Hey Siri, what is it all about?
Okay, I found this on the web for what is it all about. Check it out.
She's an idiot. You put your left foot in, you take your left foot out. You put your left foot in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Boom, boom. Okay. All right, Simon is still with the nose picking. You can pick your nose, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friends and flick them. I like that one. You can flick your snot. Boing. You never did that? Seriously? You've never picked your nose and then went boing? I don't believe you. You need to go to confession. And Sunday is still today here. Oh, you missed Sunday, next Sunday. So if you haven't flicked your snot, you don't know what you're missing. So don't flick your friends. Oh, I get it. Don't flick your... Oh, Simon. Seriously? Funnel Fest. Hello, Peter. Congratulations on your new camera. Thank you. And Funnel Fest just prayed for Chuck. Chuck, you got prayed for. I prayed for you live on the air, Chuck. You have been prayed for. Funnel Fest prayed, sent prayers, and he's telling us that he prayed for you too, Chuck. So you got prayers for whatever's going on over there. So pick and flick is so much better than pick and wipe. Boy, we do have a boys club in here tonight, don't we? Yep. That goes kind of along with you can prick your finger and you could, well, never mind. Yeah, well, you know that one too, right? You know what that one is. You've got to know. Simon says, the mask made me feel safer. Me too. Can you imagine that? And not sure how much of it made a difference, but I felt better. Me too. I felt better with the mask. Honestly, you got it just right. I'm doing a Carlos. You hit the nail on the head. You got the meaning of it. You understand it clearly now. That is amazing. I hope he's not here, but he knows I've teased him like that before. Woody says, ever notice that they don't wipe the carts anymore? Hey, there we go. We got another one going at the grocery store like they did when COVID was running in full swing. But you want to know something, Woody? They still got that container. Sometimes it's empty. But I will take out 200 or 300, okay? And I will wipe here, and I'll wipe down the sides, because sometimes I lean like this, okay? And when I lean, no, Eileen, I'm not calling you. Good night, Eileen, good night, Eileen. That's not the name of the song. It's Good Night, Irene, okay? But I will wipe it down, and I will go, because before COVID came out, somebody did a test on the shopping carts, and over 80% of them had feces flicks on them, or residual of feces. People were picking their butt and touching the shopping carts. That's the simple way of putting it, okay? I'm sorry that we actually have to talk like that in the Christmas room, but people were sticking their fingers in their butt, okay, or wiping themselves and ripping the toilet paper so there was like a finger full of shitooey there, and then going and shopping and touching my shopping cart. This was before COVID, okay? So that taught me to feel grossed out about the carts. And when Publix started giving the sanitary wipes, because it was just they were trying to provide a good service, I used to wipe them down because I was thinking there is SHIT on this cart. And I don't want to touch my own, never mind yours. Hello, this is a camera channel. Why are we talking about this? If Chuck is in bed sick and watching this, he's rolling and turning over in his bed. Matt says that vintage lens looks great. Yeah, doesn't it look good? Kind of surprised. Honestly, I expected it to look worse. But coloring is good. It's got a warmth on my face. I be looking good. Now, did it get soft again? Is this lens moving all by itself? The camera is tilted down, not level. It's tilted down just a hair. No, my eyes look like they're sparkling. My eyes are sparkling. Did you know my eyes sparkle? Okay. So, yes. So, Funny says, hi, I absolutely love messing around with vintage lenses. It's a whole new world to discover and have a great time with. Very enjoyable. Yes. I felt like a kid on Christmas morning when all of a sudden I had 5 lenses I could put on this camera, because I don't have any lenses that go on this camera natively. So I saw that. I was looking for another adapter, and I saw Hexanon AR. And I'm going, Hexanon AR, that sounds so familiar. So I went in the closet and I found one of Dad's old lenses. Guess what? All his lenses are Konica Hexanon AR mount lenses. So for $9.90 something, $10, okay, I ordered it. And it came. And I'm using it right now. We're actually watching a vintage lens. No automatic anything. It's wide open. And when you turn the dial for your f-stop, you can see, and there's a lot of blades in there. Okay? So I wonder how many blades is in it. This is the Hexanon AR 57 millimeter 1.4 Konica lens. So I can look that up and see. Look and see. Yep, so I'm not the only one that's enjoying a vintage lens. PET is a COVID test. Oh, I guess I failed that test. What is PET? That's what you rub the tummy in and you say, come, and they jump up in your lap. That's a PET. Funnel Fest said got it twice. Second time was easy. Natural immunity works best. Yep, I believe in that. But I have no issue with the vax if someone wants it. I agree with that too. It's a personal choice. The only issue I have with the vaccine, to be honest with you, is people think it's safer than it is. When I saw my nephew, who's very strong, in the hospital and with heart, and now he's perfectly fine again, okay? And kids being forced to have it, no, that is not okay in my book. Okay, now, I remember, doing a lot of research because my nutritionist got it in my head that I've got to build up my own immunity. Well, my own immunity sucks to begin with. If there was a cold every year, I would catch it, okay? Now, my immunity's got to be a lot stronger because I am taking vitamins out the wazoo. I don't know where the wazoo is, but I do know where my kazoo is. Everybody! Okay, so out the wazoo does not mean out the kazoo, okay? I was making a point there. I wasn't being silly. Well, yes, I was. Okay, so Funnel Fest got it twice, and natural immunity. Yep, you actually could take a test now to see if you got any natural immunity. It's $70. I was tempted, but my credit cards are shut down. Learning how to sterilize water is an excellent survival skill for adventurers out in the wilderness. And if they sabotage our water system, Ray, you've got these bad people out there that want to do bad things. The water system is a major thoroughfare in this country, just like the shipping system is a major thoroughfare in this country. So they used airplanes to start that war, okay? So, yeah, learning how to... I heard, Ray, you could get dirty water, filter it from, like, let's say a lake, and you see guys pissing in the lake, okay? You could get water out of that lake, okay? You could run it through your coffee filter and stuff. And I don't remember the ratio. You can put 1, 2, or 3 drops of Clorox in the water, and you wait, let's say, 12 hours, okay? So it sterilizes the water, and the Clorox evaporates. So if you've got a little bit of a Clorox smell in your water that comes out of your tap, that gives you the opportunity to run a test. Get yourself a glass of water, smell it. If it's got a little bit of a Clorox smell, set it down, and tomorrow smell it again. The Clorox will completely evaporate out of that water. I did that test. The chlorine level in our city water here is high enough where you can get a sniff of it, okay? And it will evaporate. And you know what? The water will taste better too, okay? Just let it evaporate, whatever crap is in there, for 24 hours, and you've got cleaner water than you started with. So Ray is correct. Absolutely right for Ray. Ray is right. Right is Ray. Ray is right as Ray. Tongue twister. As long as it's not a... never mind. I did not supervise Liam much with this video. I helped frame him. I helped him frame the camera, got the exposure right, but he got the adapter, loaded the clips, synced the audio, and edited it by himself. I checked color balance. That's saying a lot for an 8-year-old boy. Planet Liam is Simon's, that's Simon, okay? Simon's son, his name is Liam, and his channel is called Planet Liam. So at the beginning, Simon was doing the videos on the R5, 8K. The only boy in the world where at 6, 7 years old was running an 8K camera, okay? I just don't get it. And now he did the newest video on his own. So you can go and hunt down Planet Liam and find out, what's it all about, Alfie? What's it all about, Alfie? You put your left foot in, you take your left foot out, you put your left foot in, shake that sucker all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Bum, bum. Roy says, our house is a very, very, very fine house. with 2 cats in the yard. Our house water is from a filtered tank. Cool. So Jeff said, I would have recommended the Premiere Pro if it was not for greed of Adobe now going from the subscription model as MME, Roy. Oh, he's talking to Roy. I try not to get in the middle of the conversations. I would still be on, and I still am, Lightroom, but I will not be caught up in this a month. We want one of your testicles every month. Well, after 2 months, I can't pay anymore. I want your firstborn son. Well, you better be making kids. Okay, what's this a month? The whole world has gotten on, I'm ranting now, a month plan. What kind of crap is that? It's not a month. I buy something, I pay for it, it's mine. Well, no, we will let you use it for 30 days or 1 year. And we get, oh, okay, no problem. Let me pull my underwear down and bend over so you could screw me again, okay? So I'm a little sassy tonight, can you tell? Yes, Adobe Premiere, I won't even look at it because I like it. So I paid for Final Cut Pro 7 years ago. Maybe it's 6, okay? I have not had to pay for another upgrade. They've been updating it and upgrading it. The Apple OIS, they upgrade that. Apple makes plenty of money. Actually, they just became the largest corporation cash-wise in the world. Okay, there is no company on this planet bigger than them. Apple is the biggest, richest company in the world. Maybe not biggest physically, but they are the wealthiest company. They just crossed that trend line. They were there before, they went down, and now they're there again. Okay? So, I lost track. Okay, Roy was talking with Jeff. I better put a star there. Matt says, I didn't get the jab because of heart concerns. You know, I wasn't even aware of the heart concerns at that time. Got COVID once. It was the lightest flu-like symptoms I ever had, but I know it affects different people differently. Yeah, it really does. So you've got to be willing to get in there and fight it like hell, okay? The immunity system. So older people, their immunity system is down. So when they get very old, they catch COVID, they don't have a chance. Then they blame the fact that they weren't vaccinated. Well, the fact is that the old people in this country, when I say old, elderly people, up in age, okay, their vitamin deficiency is tremendous, okay? Their health is tremendous. They go to the 5 o'clock, you know, early, what do they call it? Not happy hour, but where they get the, between 5 and 6, they get a discount. So they go to that. They eat the mashed taters full of butter, okay, which is, the butter's actually the good part. The mashed potatoes are the bad part. Then they'll have a key lime pie with whipped cream stacked from here to the ceiling. The whipped cream is the good part. The sugar is the bad part, okay? And they are just poisoning themselves to hell. But so are the kids, okay? We, as kids, I still associate as kids. We got Twix, we got Reese's peanut butter cups, we got M&Ms, we got Twinkies, we got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, all the crap. But our bodies are much younger and they are fighting that stuff off. Now, each age group is still not giving the body. This is what I've learned through this COVID. I have not been treating my body correctly, okay? And the doctor said, Peter, you're going to have to get insulin shots because your sugar is getting higher and higher. Well, damn, I like sugar. I like chocolate chip cookies. I like ice cream. I like hot fudge sundaes. I like McDonald's milkshakes. I love the peach milkshake that comes out every year from Chick-fil-A. So yeah, sugar is my thing. I don't know why God didn't make sugar a health food. Okay, I'm going to have to ask him about that one when I get up there. Why didn't you make sugar a health food, Lord? It was like it's so readily available. Instead, we have to eat these leaves, green things, and we have to eat this liver. Oh my God, what were you thinking, Lord, when you make this? You should have spun it around. Liver should be poisonous, and the salad should be detrimental to you. You need to have a an extra bowl of ice cream tonight. Eat another handful of M&Ms. That's what heaven's going to be like. It's all perfect up there. You can eat the M&Ms, Twix, the Reese's peanut butter cups. Oh my God, that is so good. But down here, you don't eat that. So anyway, I had to cut out sugar, and I went heavily into the keto and then moved into the carnivore, meaning if it's not red meat, you don't eat it. So I did that for 2 months. I actually lowered my blood sugar to the point where the doctor said, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. So I don't have to take that metformin. I never started the metformin, okay, but that's the drug they want everybody to take. Hey, nice to see you, Doc. How you feeling? Oh, yeah. Well, here's the prescription, Peter. What is it? Metformin. You should take it. Just take it, okay? And while you're at it, let me give you a statin, okay? Let me give you a statin so, it'll help your heart so you don't have a stroke. You want to die? Come here. Listen to me carefully. You want to die sooner? You want to die sooner? Do everything your doctor tells you to the letter. I guarantee you'll die sooner. Okay? So what's missing there? What's missing there is that the pharmaceutical corporations are pushing their drugs. So they go in at least once or twice a month, and they give the doctors free samples, and they give them free prescription pads with their prescription already written on it. So the doctor's going, this is easy, okay? So they become a dispenser of drugs, basically. All right? But the doctor forgot oil of oregano. I'm Greek. Oil of oregano goes back to my grandmother, great-grandmother, okay? You put oregano in the food, and that's not oil of oregano. Oil of oregano is when you take the leaves of the oregano plant and you squeeze the juice out of it, all right? That is like olive oil, virgin olive oil, the first squeeze, all right? Oil of oregano is the same thing, and there's other things that are made the same way. So oil of oregano has been around my house for hundreds of years. It's just penicillin and amoxicillin and all these cillins and cipacro, or whatever it's called. All of that became a thing. As a matter of fact, I got a bottle of cipacro in the freezer for an emergency in case I can't get to the doctor soon enough. But I also have a bottle of oil of oregano. I'm better off taking the oil of oregano first, and the silver water first, and the vitamin D3 first, and the zinc first, and the K2 first. Anything I missed? All right, before I go and run and defrost my bottle of cipacro, or whatever it's called. So, Funny said, silver cured my massive sore throat in a few hours. Was so grateful, worked so well. It's good to hear from someone that actually used it and it works. Because I haven't caught anything, and hopefully I won't. And therefore, I can't tell you. Oh, yes, I can. The red rash on my leg, I'm looking at it right now. I'm not wearing pants. I was going to bed. I am wearing underwear. And I am wearing gym shorts. And I'm wearing a dressy shirt. So I could actually lift my leg up so you can see. All right, it's 90% better. So at least 50% and greater got better because of Randy's using the Icy Hot, and then the silver's taking it home. So, yep. So Funnel Fest is saying, do you still use the old version, Roy? I'm guessing he's talking about Premiere Pro, but I still use Lightroom 6, the last one you could buy. It's still in my computer right here. And I just change everything, all these new things to DNG files, and pop them in there and work with them as if they were raw files. So Roy is talking to, Roy is still on PS6. I'm on Lightroom 6 because the internet keeps going down. Okay. Jeff is sometimes, I think we become too pandemic and worrying about germs. Yes, normal hygiene practices, but using, he's making a general statement. He wasn't talking to someone else. Sometimes, Jeff says, I think we become too I don't know that word. Pathetic. Let's go with pathetic. I think we can become too pathetic in worrying about germs. Yes, Normal hygienic practices, but still use all caution, is what I'm thinking he would have finished with that. And he's right. And not all germs are bad germs. You've got probiotics. They're supposed to be the good germs that go kill the bad germs. So Simon says the first time he caught COVID, he was exhausted, but the symptoms were mild. Just had to stay in bed. Second time, I had the same symptoms, but sinus was worse. Not as tired, but took as long. So it comes back, it comes back. Funnel Fest used to dig all the time to find buffalo nickels. So what was in the nickels? Oh, nickel was in the nickels. I'll aim for 99% retirement done. Simon says, I hit 1,100 videos a few months back. I need to slow down. I think I will do that this month, except that I have something for tomorrow. So Simon's got a video coming out tomorrow. Now, if I had 1,100 videos, I would have all the money I could buy the Z8, I could buy the S5 II, I could buy the lenses, because I'd have some videos out there that would be churning some money for me. That's where I failed. So if you are a video content creator, you could see where the point of failure was for me. Take it with a grain of salt, but it is actually extremely important. Jeff says using too many chemicals in some ways, I believe, can do the opposite, not letting the body fight it off. That's true. I have something to say about that. I remember as a child digging in the dirt. The company benefits from it. Okay, well, digging in the dirt, you get your minerals. But you know what I notice with today's mothers these days? As soon as a child has a fever, they run for the cabinet. They want to, oh, he has a fever. Get the Tylenol. No, let the fever do its work. Your body raised the temperature to kill the germs. Now, if it gets out of hand, step in, okay? But 100, 101, even 102, at 102, I would start with the Tylenol, okay? But until then, your dog's temperature is like 104, 106, something like that. It's there because it kills the bacteria. Your dog can eat another dead dog that's already got maggots in it, and he's fine because his temperature is higher. So when our temperature goes higher, it's telling us it's trying to fight something off. And I've watched these mothers that like, oh, you've got to get the fever down. No, you don't. The fever is actually good for the child, unless the fever is dangerous, because fever can become very dangerous. Okay? So that was what I wanted to say in there. So Roy says, red was only associated with Santa from the earliest 20th century Coca-Cola advertisements. I don't care, Roy. That might be a joke. I don't think you were making a joke. I don't give a crap. Red in my Christmas room is in, baby. And we are in 2023, and I love red. I love blue. I love red. I love blue and red. What other colors do I like? I like yellow. I like green. So, Roy says, Peter, I just purchased the 16 millimeter RF glass. Loving it already. That is my walk-around lens, okay? Totally my walk-around lens. Now, what camera do you have, Carlos? Oh, hi, Carlos. How you doing? Okay, so with that lens, technically, unless you're taking professional pictures and even the events that you cover, you can easily take a 16 millimeter image and crop it by 30%, which means you could easily take it and make it a 20 to 24 just by cropping, and no one will know the wiser. No one will be the wiser. Okay, so the fact that people think that you can't crop pictures, you can. Everybody thinks that pixels are precious. They are. They're there for a reason. Okay, but the new Leica Q3, okay, oh, I can't look it up. All right, it's got 65 or 67 megapixels. So you know what they did? They have a built-in lens, and it's a 28 millimeter. But they start cropping down until that one comes all the way down to be a 12 millimeter lens. And at 12 millimeters, it's something like an 85 millimeter lens. Okay, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It starts to crop down the 60 some odd pixels until it becomes all the way down to 12 pixels. And with a one single lens, don't forget your Sony cameras, some of your high-end Sony cameras are 12 megapixels, okay? So you've got a 28, 35, 50, 75, and 90, all from the one sensor and the one lens on the Leica Q3. And if you're shooting a wedding, don't do the 12 megapixel one if it bothers you, but you still can. Don't forget, I shot weddings professionally with the 1D, all right, and the 1D Mark II, and they were like 8 megapixel cameras. 8! Did you hear me? 8 megapixels! And they did not have the quality that we got today. So these people that are on YouTube today are like infants without a brain. They don't have real-world experience. Oh, if you crop it 1.6%, you're losing all those pixels. Fine, lose them. The point is you can lose them. You could, the 20D, what was the 20D? I think it was either 6 megapixels, and I've done many weddings with the Canon 20D. It was either 6 megapixels or 8. I don't remember which that one was. I got to get me a little keyboard because I like to look some of this stuff up, okay? So the Leica will take from 65, I don't remember what the high end was, all the way down to 12 megapixels and treating each one as if it was a different lens. And you're dropping megapixels. And it's not, I could shoot a wedding with that camera all day long. It's got the focus system that's in the S5 II, okay? So Ray says, my grandpa had a nice collection of silver dollars and 50-cent pieces from the 60s and 70s. You could tell by looking at the sides of the coin which year they switched from silver to cheap metal. It was 1963. So if you have a 1964 or older than 64, silver dollar or 50-cent piece, it is 80-something% silver, okay, or 90%, okay? After 64, they all became not silver, tin. So when you go through your coins, and this includes dimes and quarters, if it's older than 1964, you have a high silver content in those coins. That's just something to be aware of. So if you see a John F. Kennedy 1962 50-cent piece, keep that sucker. If silver skyrockets, you got yourself something there, buddy, okay? And the value of the silver is more than the value of the coin, much more. So a silver dollar, what does it cost to buy a silver dollar? Not $1. It's worth $1 in its minted form. But in terms of silver, it's worth like 20, 30 bucks. How much is an ounce of silver? What about a gold dollar? A gold dollar was used as a dollar. How much is that? $4. Well, here's 4 silver dollars. I mean, 4 gold dollars. They're worth what, $2,000 a coin today or higher? I lost track. So congratulations, Carlos, on your brand spanking new 16 millimeter lens. You will actually love that. It's one of my favorite ones. Roy says, I stole my wife's copper coin jar to demold an old lens. Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, that's cool. Okay, you know how they put something like your phone, if you drop it in water, you put it in rice for a week or something, and it dehumidifies the whole thing? Well, he did that by putting the lens in a whole jar full of what? Copper coins. He doesn't say what it was. Okay. So Woody says, hope my Z8 will be back from Nikon this week. The holiday might mess that up, though. Yeah. I hope you get it back soon, Woody. That would be really cool. Keep me informed, all right? So Roy is talking to Woody, and he's telling him his Z8 is going nowhere, unless he sees a real problem. Randy's talking to Woody. Was your Z8 one of the ones that would have to be fixed? Yeah, his serial number was smack. Woody's serial number was smack in the middle of what was recalled. Raymond says, thanks for letting me know you have the Tamron 17 to 28. Not only do I have it, I'm holding on to it. That's how much I like that lens. I think the only problem with the Sigma and Tamron marketing, is big YouTubes don't receive them, probably because Sony sends them native glass. Oh, of course. It's always native glass. But did you know that the native Leica lens, some of them, not a lot, but some of them are actually made by Sigma. And some of the native Panasonic lens are actually manufactured by Sigma. Hence, you have the Leica, Panasonic, Sigma alliance. Okay? They all sleep together. Randy said, Woody is talking to Randy. Yes, I had one of the numbers. Ordinary Filmmaker says DaVinci Resolve is mostly free. Not only is it free, but they used to not do export in 4K. Now they export in 4K, but not in something else. I forgot what it is. Because, and they brought the $800 model down to like $200. So we've had quite a bit of forward motion on that. So, yes. But I'm not going to do a learning curve on DaVinci, because that would take way too long. I have retired, if that's a thing. I seem to be more busy now than before I retired. Yeah, before you retire, you're on a regular schedule. Now you're free to do what you want, and you're going 10 different directions all at the same time. Wait, let me go back to the Panasonic. No, my eyes still sparkle. Okay. I thought maybe it was getting softer again. If it's getting softer, somebody say something, okay? Oh, there's Kyle. How you doing, big boy? I called you twice today. On one of them, I actually even left you a message. So I love you, Kyle. I love everybody. I hope you were having fun or sleeping. So that's it. So Roy is talking to Raymond. Many old-timers don't like... Okay, well, good. I think I want to get in on this one. Many old-timers don't like Sigma or Tamron because they used to be bad. It used to be the Sigma poop pile. It was hard to find a Sigma or a Tamron lens that wasn't much more than the bottom of a Coke bottle, the glass Coke bottle, where you couldn't even see through the thing. They were really bad. And your chances are 1 out of 10 to get a good lens of a particular lens. And then they started to climb. Okay, I'm sure they still make some garbage lenses, but now they make very high-end lenses too. So you've got to hand pick out the lens that you want. Roy says, I look better with a mask. There you go. Roy was in his glory when everybody wore a mask, because damn, I'd be looking good now, okay? So now you got to take the mask off, Roy. It's just, what can I tell you? So, Funny Fest, according to The Who, the mask made no difference, but it was kind of fun to wear. It was a psychological thing too. When I didn't have it, I felt bad. Like, oh my God, I'm going to get sick and die. So Matt is talking to Roy. Hey, Roy, I think you look better with the mask too. I'm kidding you. I'm kidding you. No, I don't. He looks better. Put the damn mask on, Roy. Oh, no, I'm kidding, Roy. This room is so much fun. Roy is talking to Raymond. Stigma still has a few dud lenses, but Tamron has become a great lens maker. Actually, Sigma has a new line called the Contemporary lens. Okay, and those things are mighty fine, mighty fine. And Woody, he does like I do. Woody, you've got it right. I can't believe you got it so right. He always wipes down his shopping cart. Woody, you have got it exactly spot on. That is amazing. I'm making fun of somebody, Woody, and it's not you. But it is somebody I love dearly, okay? So yes, I do recommend, before you put your hands on the shopping cart, wipe the handle down. It's nothing to do with COVID. It's got to do with poop, okay? Google. Do you know how to Google? Everybody in here knows how to Google. Look up feces on shopping cart. And you're going to be shocked on the test how much they found traces of feces on the handles of the shopping carts. If that doesn't gross you out, I can't think of anything better than you picking your friend's nose. Okay? So, yes, it is definitely something to put knowledge in your brain. Vintage lens for a vintage presenter. Roy, you're getting mighty close to the line there, buddy. Buddy boy, old pal, sweetheart, darling. He's calling me old is what he's doing. Generally, vintage lenses look better stopped down, 1 or 2, but I'm not. This is wide open. This baby is wide as wide can be. I could stop it down. Now, what is this? We're almost at 2 hours. I ain't stopping down no lenses now, okay? So, Roy says, Megadap and Telechart 2000 make autofocus adapters for most old lenses up to 135 millimeters. So you know, Roy, what I haven't been able to find, Roy? I cannot find a Sony to Leica L mount adapter. So I have quite a few Sony lenses, and I cannot find a Sony to Leica L adapter. So if anyone actually finds it, my guess, since I can't find it, is that it's not possible to put a Sony lens on this camera right here. Why do I get a feeling like I'm focus breathing when I'm not? This thing does not focus. The camera can't focus. My eyes still look sharp as a tack. So maybe I didn't focus properly the first time around, and I thought I had it in focus. But I could test by putting that mic back here and seeing if the green is as saturated as it is now. So Roy or anybody, if you can find me a Sony E-mount, E-mount from Sony E-mount to Leica L mount. I would like to put some of I got the 50 millimeter 1.4 Carl Zeiss. I got the Tamron that I'm telling everybody how wonderful it is. I've got the triplets, the 16, 30, and 56 millimeter 1.4s. Randy, or anybody else that has an S5 II. Do you know when I put the 10 to 18 on the adapter on the Leica, it automatically cropped the image for me like happens on your R6? I was surprised because you can't manually crop the image if you're going to take a picture. You cannot crop the image from full frame to APS-C. If it's a full frame lens, you cannot crop the image. Nope, will not let you do it. But I put an EFS lens on this camera, automatically cropped it. And I took pictures all over the house. Fingers, toes, and nose. I took pictures of everything, and it cropped it. And not only that, a lens that I didn't think was so hot now has become a very appealing lens to me. Right, Randy? Because Randy has the same lens. Okay. No one should be forced, and there are issues for sure. I pray the long term, everything is fine. I agree with you. It would be hard to sabotage my water. It's from a tank. Sabotage my water. Yeah, but you know, not everybody's on that tank. Roy, what you got in that tank? Roy, is that why you have a little bit of a problem walking that straight line? I know just how it is, Roy. So you can't kid a kidder. Looks clear, don't it? I don't drink, guys. Well, I do drink wine. I actually drink wine when I have communion. So yeah. Roy says in the early days, computer people considered all information should be free. And a lot of people still have that mindset. But it's true. Roy says, oh, coffee flavored ice cream. You got to put a little chocolate in it. That's what's called mocha. Coffee and chocolate together. I might do that when we finish this, if we ever finish this. I might die right here on this live stream. No, don't talk like that. All right, so I will make a chocolate smoothie and add a little bit of instant coffee to it. And I'm going to go, oh, Jesus, thank you. This tastes so good. Yes, it does. So, yes, coffee-flavored ice cream is so good. So you're better off starting with coffee-flavored ice cream, believe it or not, because I'm an expert at this stuff. You start with coffee-flavored ice cream, and you add chocolate to your liking until you get the mocha mix you like. That's what Arby's roast beef is famous for, is their mocha, the chocolate mocha shakes. Because all it is a chocolate shake with coffee added to it. So I get that, and I dip my fries, the curly fries, into the coffee mocha shake. I think they call it a Jamocha shake. Pharmaceutical companies could cure many diseases, but that would be bad for the bottom line. They want the cash. You could die, we just want our cash. Sugar was a health food during the famine part of human history. Our brains are wired to gorge on sugar because it's both a high energy resource and was once rare in nature. That's true. But we are wired to burn two things: carbohydrates, which is sugar, and fats. Okay? And what we do is we hit ourselves with carbohydrates and fats. And the body goes, duh, I don't know which one to burn. So donuts should be a health food, in my opinion. I don't know why. You get those damn charts. Where is that thing? From the doctor. Foods to eat, foods not to eat. Okay? So on the foods not to eat, I want to see salad, asparagus, liver, beans. Foods to eat, Twinkies, peanut butter cups, chocolate bars, M&Ms, donuts, fancy donuts, pumpkin pie, Boston cream pie, cheesecake. That should be what's on the list of things to eat. The world is upside down. What the hell is wrong with these people? Roy says my video editor predates Premiere Pro too. I love ultra-wide lenses and sometimes even a fisheye. Roy, you do not need anything else, maybe. You already have great video software. It's yours, it's standalone, and it is the subscription version with the latest update. Be inserted to know if it's better. And some, like us, strangely look like Panasonics. They're bosom buddies. They really are. I kept the caps from my dead lenses. Nearly half are Sigma. Yeah, see? And now Roy says, now where did I put that mask? I don't know. They done a test. They did do a test on the something and found it contains a very high percentage of human waste. On the exhalator. I don't know, what's a exhalator? I bet you he's saying escalator. Not as fast as a computer. Give me a chance. They've done tests on escalators and found it contained a very high percentage of human waste. So it shows a lot of people seem to not wash their hands after going to the bathroom. Shops love Sigma because it has by far the biggest markup. Yeah, well, money makes the world go round, the world go round, the world go round. Money makes the world go round. Give me some. Hey, did you hear about Zeiss? No? Question mark? Zeiss is fine, by the way. If you're talking about an old rumor that Zeiss went under, they didn't. That's an old rumor that's, and the proof is they are still in business. You could still call a company. But there was a very nasty rumor, Kyle, and they were trying to put Zeiss out of business is what I'm thinking. And I'm itching my rash. So where's my silver water? Mabel, get me the silver water now. Hurry up. Bah! Roy, I only have one Sony A7 and it doesn't work. I do not use a mask. I am in two worlds in regards to wearing a mask. I may at times while riding the subways where there's a lot of people or in hospitals. I'm sure the masks do something, but they're not going to defeat what we want them to defeat. That's the problem with the mask. But body odor, bad breath, smelly clothes, give me the damn mask, okay? So, I love Zeiss lenses. Kyle, don't leave me hanging. But the 50 millimeter 1.4 isn't my favorite. Well, it's a good thing, Roy, because this is not a 50 1.4, it's a 57 1.4. So Roy says the wine casket was invented in Australia. What is this, trivia? Chocolate would spoil the coffee flavor. No, I love mocha. Oh my God, that is so good. Coffee makes everything better. Have you ever tried the Folgers coffee tea bags that look like tea bags, but they're coffee bags? My dad liked those, and he's like a very strict coffee. I had to get coffee, what was it, Jamaican Blue or something. Something blue from a Bahama Blue or Jamaican Blue is one of the best coffee. I had to get that for him. Then he found the folders that are in the teacups, and he says, one of the best coffees he's ever had. So that doesn't add up in my brain, and he's not around for me to ask him anymore. He decided to leave. He went on vacation, and he's saying, coming back for a long time. He went to heaven. Well, I like coffee when I put plenty of sugar and a lot of heavy cream. So you do get a little coffee flavor in there. Yes, you do. So Woody, I'm surprised you stayed up that late. Good night. When I wake up in the morning, I will check to see if you were still on. I won't be. I'm actually starting to feel sleepy, Woody. Good night, buddy. Love you. Love everybody here. Agree, Peter. It is just outright greed as companies have learned that they can get away and make more money going this way. So until the masses stop using them, more and more will be jumping on this. And that goes for everything, Jeff. The washing machines that we bought 100 years ago still work. The washing machine you bought 3 weeks ago needs a service call. They've learned it doesn't pay to make high quality. Now, the problem is, and this is going to sound really bad, you know, people do know about health, but you'll go to McDonald's and you'll find the fattest people there with kids that are chubby as hell, all ordering apple pie, milkshakes, ice cream for dessert, even though they have milkshakes, and Big Macs, and they're at McDonald's feeding the kids this stuff. Now those kids, when they grow up, guess what? They're going to be sicky wickies. And the pharmaceuticals are going, we got sick kids coming up in the next round. Let's feed them sugar. Let's make them go to McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and all those places. I'm not going to just pick on one. Okay, McDonald's is kind of like encompassing all the fast foods. How come I don't see a keto fast food restaurant where I can go in and get a keto meal fast? Now, do you know what I had last night? My brother George brought home a cooked chicken, like a Costco chicken. But it wasn't from Costco. It was from someplace like a Trader Joe's. No, it was from a Greek restaurant. So it's a well-cooked chicken. So I deboned it. I have all of this meat. Okay? Now, you can make a chicken salad with it, mix it up with mayonnaise, and that's what a lot of people do. But you'd have to use the right mayonnaise, because the mayonnaise that you and I buy, Hellman's, Duke's, couldn't think of the name. Look at the ingredients. That's the ingredients that'll kill you. There's nothing wrong with the mayonnaise. It's got less than 1 carb for a tablespoon. So it doesn't have sugar. You can eat mayonnaise straight. But the soy oil, the soybean oil, the soy extracts, and moxadeltrin and all that's stuff that's going to kill you. So you get the healthy mayonnaise that's made with avocado oil. It just don't taste that good. It's that bad. Excuse me. Okay. So I got a stick of butter, 1 stick of butter, a block of cream cheese, 1 block of the Philadelphia cream cheese. I melted it together. I whipped it up. And you know who taught me? Kyle. He says, I put garlic salt on my cream cheese. Okay? So there's a chef with the very Italian, you know, Chef Jean-Claude or something like that. And he makes a mushroom sauce. So I took just the base of that mushroom sauce, a block of cream cheese, a stick of butter. I melted it. I whisked it up. It became like a creamy mayonnaise. You add a good helping teaspoon of garlic powder, a good teaspoon of onion powder, whisk that all up, and you've got a better tasting mayonnaise than mayonnaise. Carbs, almost 0. Soybean oil, 0. Moxadeltrin or moxadeltrin, whatever it is, 0. Preservatives, 0. So I took and I made myself a chicken salad using that as my mayonnaise. Now, if you've got a little bit of inquisitiveness or creativity, you could take that base sauce that I just said, 1 stick of butter, 1 full block of cream cheese, melt it down, whisk it up, and you have to whisk it until it turns into a cream. You'll see it like oil and butter, and no, at some point it turns into a cream. A beautiful looking cream, by the way. Looks like a jar of mayonnaise, okay? But it takes a good minute, okay, of using the whisk. I even have one of those things that you turn by hand and it's got the things, but the whisk will do it. You build a little muscle, okay? Don't be a wuss. Build a little muscle. Whisk your cream cheese, okay, with butter. And I use salted butter, so I don't add salt to it. You add the garlic. You add the onion powder. Now, you can saute some onions. You can saute some mushrooms. Dump that in there. You got yourself something good going on. Now you could put that on chicken. You could put that on your steak as a sauce. You could put that on your scrambled eggs and make like a fake, hollandaise sauce to put on the steak. You can use and make a tuna fish salad with it. I mean that, and it's no sugar, low carbs, high fat. Those of us that need to eat the fat, that's where you get it. Okay, so Roy, I left off with him. He said most new Zeiss lenses are made by Cosina in Japan. Well, I'm thinking if something is made in Japan, it ain't half bad. Am I right or am I wrong? Subculture says, I saw an article saying they exited the camera business. That's a fake. Okay, so that is a fake article, and it's not only fake, it's quite old. But people just like Madeline Murray O'Hare, that she wants to take prayer out of schools, that comes around every 3-4 years. People get up in arms. The woman is dead. Dead. 6 feet under, pushing up daisies, yet still causes a problem. So ignore that, Kyle. It's not the truth. They try to get you to tell me, and then I go, oh, did you hear? Zeiss is, they're going out, they're leaving the business. No, they aren't, okay? They're healthy as could be. Zeiss did try to make a camera again with built-in storage. It failed. Shouldn't mayonnaise be made with eggs and oil? Yes, it should. Read the contents on your mayonnaise jar. If you're not doing anything for healthiness, right? So don't bother. But those that are doing for healthiness, read. Soybean is bad for males. Anything with the word soybean in it is bad for males. You know what makes you a male? look down. Unless you're too fat, you'll see something down there. It's bad for that, okay? Soybean anything is also kind of like wallpapering your arteries, men or women, with plaque. Soybean is a killer. Hydrogenated oil is a killer, okay? Look and see if anything you're eating contains hydrogenated oil. That means oil that was boiled. That turns oil into a one molecule away from plastic. You could take Mazola, what do they call that? The butter, the fake butter. It'll be good 300 years from now. Okay? So anything that's got the word hydrogenated in it, it shouldn't pass your lips. Okay? So we're not even talking dieting here. We're just talking about stuff that's going to make you sick and die. And I've been learning this. Don't think I'm Mr. Innocent. You don't think I filled out this shirt one day a year ago or so. Okay, look at that. I could put me and practically any one of you in the shirt with me. It's like I'm wearing a frickin' dress. Okay, so that was the gravy from going on the low sugar diet. I did it because I don't want to take damn shots or start taking pills. That's why I did it. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't because the doctor said you got to go on a diet. He's done that for years. You got to go on a diet, Peter. Okay, doc, no problem. I'll start. Second Tuesday of next week. I will be there, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So, guys, we have hit 2 hours. I had a good time. Did you have a good time? Thank you for being here. If anybody is just laying in bed and listening to this and enjoying themselves, laughing at me, being an idiot, and sometimes being smart, I do the whole gambit, with the RGB. I'm the whole thing. Silly to smart to intellectual. I normally don't go on the intellectual side too much because the intellectual people, they've got a personality that irks me, so I don't want to be like that. I want to be like Randy when I grow up and have, no, who said they have 1,000? I want to be like Simon. Randy, sorry, you got topped. I want to be like Simon when I grow up. I want 1,100 videos by next week. So anyway, this is our little outro. It takes me a while to sign off, so don't be jumping the gun too quick. So this is my little ZFC, such a wonderful little camera. So like I said, we have a vintage lens on here tonight if you've been watching all of this, or if you're watching it when they process it and put it up on YouTube as a regular video. Roy says, I'm not particular. I'll laugh at anyone. Good for you, Roy. That means you're a happy guy. Butter is better. Margarine affects eyesight. Margarine is actually very bad for your heart. Many of us will use, many of us will be blind in old age from margarine. And Kyle, thank you. Smart people kind of are arrogant, so I try not to look too smart. So what I got here is I'm looking at 3 cameras, and they all have their LCDs, so I'm seeing 3 of me. So if anyone here has an ego, get yourself a bunch of cameras and flip out the screens. Don't buy any that don't have the flippy screens, okay? And you'll be looking at yourself and you're going like, oh my God, that be me. I'd be good looking. I'm good looking there. I'm good looking there. I'm good looking there too. I'm even good looking on the cameras that are off. Okay, so if you're a little bit like that, cameras are wonderful for you. Roy says that I must be extra smart. Why? Did I miss something here? Oh, I get it, Roy. Bah! Roy's got the best sense of humor. So, would you say that this camera is still as sharp now as it was an hour ago? What do you think? We should refocus? I'm feeling daring, okay? Going to take out the mic that I like to use. Oh, I'm using this one. Okay, I'm going to put it down here. And I'm going to take Santa Claus's microphone. Anybody named Roy that can hear. I'm going to take Santa Claus's microphone. Going to raise it up. I'm going to make it straight. And I'm going to make it needs to come and touch my nose. Okay? So now, see where my nose is? Now I'm sitting up normally. I could sit up straight. It pulls me forward a little bit. Okay? And that's why I used to do this and try to put it where my face would be. Okay? Now I sit up normal because I know I come in and out, and I bring it to bop my nose. Okay? So now it's bopping my nose. So now it's going to focus about an inch in front of me. Actually, I'm going to move it just forward just a hair. Okay? Now, this ball right here will, with the focus peaking, turn green. Now, I don't think you can see that. I don't think so. I'm going to try something to see if you can see it or not. All right? If I fail at it, it's with the camera, so I won't be knocking myself off. All right, so now if I put myself here, and I put this mic right here, okay, so if I lean forward just a little bit, I'm still in line here. So actually I should bop my nose and go forward and put a finger between my nose and the mic. Okay, what do you think? Does that sound like good plan? Good plan. Okay, so Kyle says, not as sharp as your wit. Thank you, Kyle. I love you, Kyle. Okay, so let's go focus on this mic. I got to be careful I don't bump it. I'm going to come over here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to try and put on custom mode C3 Mark II. Okay, now if I did that correctly, you will see, I won't know till I get back. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to try and focus. Okay. Okay, see the back of the chair, the wood? See how it got? Okay, so now I'm going to go over to the mic. Okay. Okay, I'm going to enlarge it a lot. Okay, that looks like it's perfectly in focus now. Okay, now I'm going to mosey on back. Going to move this out. So, does that look sharper now? I turned on so you could see. Were you able to watch me focus, or you were not able? I won't know till I go back and look at this later. But if somebody would be so sweet and kind to tell me that you actually saw a magnification and you watched me focus, I would be forever grateful. And Mabel would be grateful too. Okay. So I would like to know if in this mode, okay, so now in this mode, let me show you real quick. I have it set up so you could see the screen. Okay, so now it's not enlarged. So this is what 57 millimeters looks like on the APS-C crop. So if I have everything set properly, I'm at 180 180 shutter angle, starting from this side. So I'm in manual mode. That is indicative of the metering mode. This is the shutter angle. This is where the f-stop would show, but it doesn't have one. This is the compensation. This is the ISO. This means that I have one, there we go. This means that I have one card in there. And 1 hour and 52 minutes. Oh, 1 hour and 52 minutes left on that card. And my battery is, after 2 hours, is still mostly full. Oh, I'm plugged into the wall. Never mind. Okay, and up here, Roy said, and he was right, this is, I'm set to 3000 Kelvin. Okay, I'm in the natural mode. This is, I can't read that. I'm in MOV mode, 4K, 30p, 29.97. This shows me that I'm in crop mode. I don't know what that means. Oh, well, I can't be in P mode. No, because down here it says I'm in M mode. Okay, and I don't know what's hiding behind this Panasonic. So now I put the zoom back on. Okay, and that's what it's supposed to look like. And we'll close this. We'll close this. Okay. So nobody answered my question. Is it sharper now, or was it sharp all along? Because we just refocused. Okay, so I'm going to go and turn off that little square. Okay, I don't think it matters. We're going off the air now anyway. Okay, I'm finished. All right. Kyle says, "Is Mabel your imaginary girlfriend?" No, Mabel is not my imaginary girlfriend. Mabel is my imaginary wife. I have a wife. Okay, and her name is Mabel, and she sits over there rocking in the chair until I speak about her. When I speak about her, she turns her head and listens. When she gets mad at me, she starts to get up out of that chair, and she's going to come over here and she's going to smack me one right over the head. That's Mabel. So when I see her starting to get up off that chair, I tell her, Mabel, you sit your ass right back down. Don't you get up off that chair, Mabel. You understand me, Mabel? Sit yourself down. And she'll sit down because I told her to sit down. And she obeys me. And then she'll shoot me a bird. And every time I tell her to do something, Mabel shoots me a bird. So, okay, you guys have caught up. I just was explaining to Kyle who Mabel was. Peter, I just looked this up as well. The EOS 1D had an 18 megapixel sensor. No, not the 1D. And it shoots 12 frames per second, has a shutter speed up to 8,000 with a the Digit Processor 4 with 61 points. So double check that, because the 1D that came out, the 1D and also had a 1DN. I can't believe it was 18 megapixels. They didn't climb that high. So maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to get Mabel to give me a spanking tonight. Okay, so Roy says sharp enough and can see the top of the bottom row of the screen text. Okay, yeah. Well, you can see the top of the bottom row? I'm looking. Oh yeah, you can. I can see the very tip of the bottom row. So you know why that happens, Roy? Because with Ecamm, I can zoom in the camera as much as or as little as I want. That's what allows me to take the one camera and actually make different scenes with it. So I can have a close-up or a far away with the same camera. So somebody that doesn't have a lot of money can buy one camera. I could think of at least 4 different views they can have from one camera. So you start with the widest, and then you build it very much like the Leica Q3. Okay. You had the D1. The D1, there was a Nikon. We're talking about Canon and Canon's 1D. So Canon came out with the D30, then the D60. Then they came out with the Pro level, which was the 1D, Mark Nothing. Okay, and then they moved over into the the D60. Then they moved into the 10D, 20D, and the rest is history, all the way up to whatever we got today. Oh, we have the R7 today, so they left that. They stopped at the 90D. Okay, so Jeff, I just don't remember the 1D being an 18 megapixel camera, but maybe it was. I'm pretty sure that they went from 6 megapixels to 8 was a big deal. Then they went 10, 12, then went 18. So there's not enough camera models in there to be all the way at 18. I'll look it up too. I can't do it now because I don't have the keyboard over here. It's over at my desk. But if that's what you read and it's accurate, then we'll go with it. Excuse you. We'll go with it. Not a problem. So the D1 was Nikon's. And I did have a chance to play with the D1, by the way. I was at a wedding as a guest, and the wedding photographer had the D1. And I asked if I could see it. And, oh, what a nice camera, and this and that. And then I changed something on there for him. I said, oh, I don't want to change it. Oh, I've been wanting to change that. Do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do that? Do you know how I can get the meter mode to be that the man didn't know his camera and he's shooting a wedding with it? Oh my God, how crazy is that? That is absolutely crazy. I just checked, my D1 is 2.6. Okay. Yeah, they're out there. We can make a chart. That would be cool. Okay, so what I'm going to have to remember when I sign off is to put the camera back where it belongs, okay? Put the correct lens back on the camera and put it in C3 so the poor thing can operate. But I got myself a really nice 57 millimeter 1.4 Hexanon, Konica Hexanon lens, a vintage lens. So tonight we were all vintage. They had a vintage host and we also had vintage guests. Our guests were vintage also. And here's one of our guests now. Roy, how are you doing, Roy? I'm teasing Roy. I love you, Roy. You're awesome. You are awesome. Oh, you're going to come in at 1:30 and you think I'm going to stay? No. I have been live for 2 hours and 20 minutes. But thank you for coming. And I had such a blast with you, Charles, when we played with your new computer. Are you still loving it? And tuning it in. Did you do anything live this weekend? I did a lot of sleeping this weekend. So I haven't really watched anybody. So let's see, what was I going to say? So Charles and I spent an hour or two together getting sound and pictures and the new computer set up and all kinds of stuff. I had a blast and Charles was laughing and he wound up looking excellent, excellent. So I guess this is where we close out the show. Boys and girls, we are running a vintage lens because the lens that's marked up here is here in my hands. This is a 50 millimeter L lens 1.2. This is what's normally there at 1.2. So since it's here, what's on the camera? Well, I have an adapter on there where manual lens, a Konica Hexanon AR 57 millimeter 1.4 lens at 1.4. Why would you have a lens at 1.4 and you don't have it at 1.4? So we have been vintage tonight. And this is what the vintage Konica lens looks like. And I'm going to put that one back on and set the camera back up because I don't like to play with the settings in the Christmas room. That makes me nervous. But we do have C3. So I could play with them and just turn the camera off, put it to C3 and start again. See if anyone known in Australia, in Melbourne, there is a slang called a dead horse. Does anyone know what that means? I just found out from a friend in Melbourne. I was shocked. So here in the States, we have a saying that says you can't beat a dead horse with a stick. And that means you can beat it all you want. It ain't going to respond. So basically, as the Bible says, you're kicking at pricks. And they're not talking about that kind of prick. They're talking about cactus pricks. You'll get your foot all bad. So I'm guessing that it means something different. Charles has a 55 millimeter Nikon 1.2 vintage. I wonder if they make an adapter to put that lens on here. So I'm not sure. We could look it up. So Roy says, Jeff, it's a saucy question. So it says you can't beat a dead horse. So you're going to tell me what it means before I jump off? So Roy says, have it. It's better than a 50 millimeter 1.2. Oh, that gets my ears up. So do we have a Nikkor to Leica L adapter? That would be interesting too. Woo! We're getting interesting with the vintage lenses here, right? Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. That's what we got going. If you can make use of it, I can send it to you. Let's make sure they make an adapter. Otherwise, it's going to become a pretty piece of jewelry. And I'd rather have a pretty piece of jewelry be sitting in your house than here. Okay? So if they make, Roy says, a standard Nikon F adapter. So somebody can do a quick lookup on Amazon or just Google it. Nikon F to Leica L mount adapter. You've got to say the Leica L mount adapter. And the reason for that is if you say just the word L, they're going to think you're talking about L lenses. This is an L lens. So you have to say Nikon F TO, Nikon F TO Leica L adapter. And see if they even make that thing. I would do it right now. Okay, but I can't. I can't leave. I'm stuck in this chair. I'm glued. My butt is glued to this chair. Roy says, I have a Leica L to Nikon adapter. Well, I don't have any Leica L lenses. So it would need to be the reverse of that, Roy. Are you joking or is that true? They only make it in one direction. So I don't know if you could put a Nikon F to a Leica L. So that is the question of the minute, because we are almost at 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I want to go get my smoothie. I've got a hankering for something in my mouth. I want to eat something. Pistachios. You guys eat the pistachios? The salted pistachios? So that is very, very good also. So boys and girls, thank you for spending some time with me tonight. I love you. And I got to turn that off. I got to put this lens back on. I got to put the C3 back on, and we're good to go. So Randy says, I believe you do not. No, I don't have a clean HDMI out. Right now I have it on dirty because I wanted to see. It may be on camera instead of video. I fell asleep and woke up, and you are still going. So what I did, Randy, is I actually did a focus live. And I turned it so the HDMI is dirty, okay? I'm looking to see if I go back and forward, if it's sharper anywhere along the way. Nope, it looks like we did a good job of focusing. So I turned off the clean HDMI, which means now, look, Randy, see at the bottom of the screen? You can actually see, well, here, I'll make it easier for you. If I turn off the zoom that I have on Ecamm, this is the full frame. Now you can see all the settings. This is not clean HDMI. So the reason that I did that is I wanted to see if you guys could actually see me focusing it. Nobody's answered my question because I asked. Were you able to watch me focusing? Were you able to see turn it green to tell you that it's in focus? That's why I have it on. So if I go over there and turn it off now, let's go over here and go back to clean HDMI. So now HDMI, okay, we are back to clean HDMI. I will come and sit in my chair, and now the screen is completely clean. Okay, now let me turn the zoom back up for this scene, and let's lock it. Okay, she be locked. I see it, I see it. Roy says comes with a Megadap comes with a Leica to N adapter for whatever. Roy, pay attention, sweetheart. I want to find out if I could put Charles's lens on this Leica L mount. Charles has a Nikon lens. Okay, how do I get the Nikon lens on this Panasonic S5 II? That's the question. Okay, so you keep telling me the reverse. I'm not trying to put a Leica lens onto a Nikon camera. Not interested in the least. I want to put a Nikon lens onto this camera that you're looking at right now. So the question back on the floor is, Roy, is there an adapter where I can put a Nikon lens on this Panasonic camera, which is a Leica L mount? So Roy says eBay, Leica L adapter link is too long for chat. Okay, then just email it to me. Okay. Peter Greg Online at AOL.com. Peter Greg, G-R-E-G-G. The link is in the description. Peter Greg Online at AOL.com. So if they actually have a Leica L adapter, and it'll take the, no, we need a Nikon to Leica L adapter. So Charles says, yes, K&F makes an adapter. That's the information I need. Cost is $34. That's the information I need. So if you've got it handy, just send me the link so I could find it. But if it's K&F, I should be able to find it. I'm not that dumb. Maybe a little bit dumb, but not that dumb. Okay, so that's good. So if I could get that adapter and it works, yeah, let's put that on here. Then I could use it. And I could give you credit every time I use it. Wouldn't that be swell? All right, guys, we have hit the 2 hours and 30 minutes. Can I go to bed now? Do I have permission to go to bed? We are at 1:30 in the morning. That's actually not too bad. I've gone much later than that, right? Well, I did start earlier. No, I started later. I started at 11 or somewhere around 11. But we're still up to 2.5 hours. Oh, if I started at 10, we would be up to 3.5 hours. That's what it is. Okay, so I have to say this lens looks pretty darn good. For the age that it is, it's just amazing. I think it looks beautiful. So that is quite a nice find. So Randy says, the NovoFlex SL/NIK adapter, Nikon F to Leica L mount with electrical contacts. Okay, that sounds good. That means that Charles's lens would fit on here. Now, it being an F mount, it would probably still fit, but I don't know if it would respond electronically or not. But that's something to find out. That could be a whole video for Randy, right? I could make a video out of that one. So, good. So the NovoFlex adapter, Nikon F to Leica L mount with electrical contacts. Cool beans. That's something like $200-300, is it? Because that ain't going to happen. But that is exciting and interesting. So Charles might have a piece of himself be put in here. He'll have the adapter that goes on this camera, so whenever I want to use the Nikon, I can actually make a video. It's a very sharp lens, but it's also a very heavy lens. Well, the good news is it's going to be on the tripod. I will not be carrying it. So that will be excellent. And then, that's 2 videos, Charles. I could do a video 3. I could do a video on the lens. I could do a video on that it will go on the Panasonic. And I could do a video comparing this, this with the Nikon. Of course, that will have to be pre-recorded because that'll have to be cut and edited, because I can't obviously have 2 lenses on the camera at the same time. So Randy says $489. Ah! Whoa! Thank you, Randy. Roy says, isn't adapting lenses fun? But Charles says there's one for 34 bucks. So we'll look at that one. Charles says the 9-core 55 1.2 has no electrical contacts. It's 100% manual. So Randy's laughing at me. He pulled the wool over my eyes. So thanks, Randy. That was fun, though. For a few minutes, I was thinking like Nikon F adapter. That means I wonder if a G lens would go on here. That's pretty cool. So, guys, we had a good time in here tonight, didn't we? We get along, we get together, and we enjoy each other. And that's why I went live tonight. This wasn't scheduled. This was a Carlos kind of a video. Turn that camera on. We're going live now. Mabel, we're going live. Turn the camera on. Turn the lights on. Turn the tripods to the right setting. Turn the TV on. See, I can do this now, and the focus will not change because it's a manual lens. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. We had a good time tonight, and I may do this again on July 4th. I'm not promising, and I'm not committing either. And the reason is, it's nice for us to get together, okay? So, So Jeff says, it's a saucy moment. Do you know what sauce? And with what else? I was shocked as I never heard of this before. Had a giggle over it. Boy, Aussie has a lot of slang. I guess I'll have to look it up because you can't put it up here. Bye, guys. Randy says, have a great holiday week. And that's true because you start with a work day, you get a day off, then you finish with only 2 more days, and then you get a weekend off. So, Charles is going to go live on July 4th. Oh, yeah, tomorrow is July 4th. It's Monday. But it won't be Monday till I wake up. But it's Monday. For me, it's still Sunday. So what time are you going to go live, Charles? Because I don't want to go out live the same time you're live. That wouldn't be nice. Unless you're going to go live like 8, 9 o'clock at night. In that case, I probably won't go live. So that's what we done did. And I'll just wait for Charles to tell me what time he's going to go live. And then we will dead horse sauce. Okay, I still don't get it. But that's okay. Maybe it should not be explained here. But just a thinking out loud. Just a thinking out loud. Ba-da-bum-ba-bum-ba-bum. So do you guys want to watch me put this lens back on there and tune in everything again? It's pretty boring, so let's just say no. So Charles is going to tell me what time he's going on tomorrow. Then I could tell you guys too, because he'll probably be at one of the parks in Orlando, which makes it more fun, which is pretty good. So, oh, you know, my eye gets caught, and you know what it is that's changing? That lamp changes colors. And out of my peripheral vision, one of the changes is like a sharp flash or something. And I'm going like, oh, the camera's trying to focus. But it isn't trying to focus. It's you know, unless somebody goes over there and turns the dial. I think somewhere around 2 to 6. That's perfect. Okay. So you could watch Charles. Let me put it up there so you guys can see it. If you want to see Charles with his new notebook, he just got a MacBook Pro with the M2 chip in it with 64 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte hard drive. And he's going to broadcast live in 4K. Yep, I started this 4K movement. And say people love to take credit for everything, right? I also invented the internet. So he will be on with a new notebook live. Will you be on with the new notebook? Or are you going to be, yeah, he's going to be in Winter Park live from the stage. Okay, that's cool. Because I know you've gone live with your iPhone too. So I'm thinking it's going to be with the new notebook. So we can watch, I might fall asleep, but if I don't, we can watch Charles tomorrow sometime between 2 and 6. He doesn't know. He needs to eat lunch. He needs to find a cool spot and something like that. So Jeff says your lens is very sharp. Thank you for answering the question. I kind of wanted to know. I'm going to find out myself, but I like your feedback too when I get it from you guys. Like I said, we are kind of like a family. Okay? So we got the information that we needed from Charles, and now we're free to do whatever we do. I don't know what you're doing. I know I'm going to go to the bathroom, and after that, wash my hands. There we go. We were talking about that earlier. And I'm going to spritz my leg with a little silver. I might be going into the silver business. People keep wanting to buy it, and I'm not offering it for sale. I have to go find jars. I have to go find this. I have to go find that. So that's another possibility. Might become a silver millionaire. But if we're going to talk like that, let's make it a silver billionaire. Why'd you settle at $1 million? Okay, so there we go. Love you guys. Catch you later. Bye-bye.